Today, we're going to create a measured drawing. It's the first two views of an orthographic drawing and is intended to show a third party, somebody who is not you, the 3D form of the product along with the dimensions or measurements needed to make it. Measured drawings are usually to scale. You cannot draw a full-size drawing of a ship or a building, but our drawing will be full-size, 1:1. The layout of the orthographic drawing is very specific. This is third angle. The easy way to understand this is to imagine the product you are drawing in a bowl. The side and top views are the views you see if you slide the product up the side of the bowl nearest them. Let's get started. I'm using graph paper, it makes it simple. You also need a pair of compasses, a rubber, a ruler and a sharp pencil. To begin with, I'm drawing a baseline to work from. Then I'm going to start constructing the basic shape from a given point on the page, normally somewhere towards the lower left-hand side, so I've got space for the rest of the drawing. Be precise with your measurements, make sure your ruler lines up with the graph paper. When you're doing this on plain paper, you'll need to be even more careful. So I'm constructing the left-hand edge, measuring the width, and I shall construct the right-hand edge. Now I'm going to draw the active screen area of the phone. Be precise with your measurements. Put tiny dots to denote the corners. That's the basic phone outline done. Now I'm going to draw the corners. Adjust your compasses accurately in this case, so the radius of the corner of the circle is 10 millimeters, so you can use your graph paper or the ruler for that. And we're going to mark the bezel, which is that tiny silver strip that sticks out around the edge of the iPhone 4. So that's not quite a millimeter, but I think I'll mark it on here at about a millimeter, just so it's easy to see. So I've done this all the way around, and I'm obviously going to do it on the four corners as well. Now I'm also going to mark on the home button and the oval shaped hole at the top for the speaker. Both these features are in the middle, top to bottom of the two spaces that they sit in. So you'll need to measure the distance as I've done there, mark it with a pencil so you know where the center of that feature is, whether the feature is the home button or the speaker at the top. I'm using this old stencil here to draw the edges of the speaker hole, as it's more accurate to use than it is to set up the compasses to draw such small diameter circles. Now I'm going to start to draw the side view. So I'm drawing construction lines, horizontal lines, faint lines across the page from the top and the bottom of the main features, so I can copy those features across to the side view on the right hand side. So I don't need to measure too much on the right hand side because I'm using the construction lines that I've drawn across from the main front view to help me construct it. So here we see the finished side view. Now you'll notice at the top, the top looks slightly inaccurate, so I've just highlighted it here. So I've just done a little bit of rubbing out, and I'm just going to redo a few bits of the lines and the edges of the corner radiuses, just so it looks a little bit neater. What we're going to do now is start to add in the dimensions. These are the numbers that show you the measurements of the object you're drawing so that you could pass that drawing to someone else and they could actually build that product. So the short lines I'm drawing beside the phone are called extension lines, so they show you where the dimension is measuring from and to. They shouldn't touch the drawing, there should be like a 1mm gap between the end of that line and the start of the drawing. The part of the dimension with the arrowheads on is the number line, and that's where the measurement will sit. So I've put the horizontal measurements on there. I'm now going to do the measurements that show the various thicknesses associated with the side view, and then I'll turn the drawing round and I'll put the numbers on the vertical measurements. You can see I've changed the inset drawing so you can see a close-up of how those dimensions look with the tiny gap between the ends of the extension lines and the drawing itself, and the faint construction lines that I've used to draw the top of the phone across to create the side view. And I'm just going to finish it off with the two radiuses to show the radius of the corner and the radius of the home button. And this is a finished drawing. Fantastic work if you've got this far. It's two views of a standard 3-view orthographic drawing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if there's anything you'd like me to cover, anything you'd like to learn or practice, don't forget to comment and I can add that in afterwards. Bye.